Hi guys, Dr. Pelto here. I want to tell you the one question that I've gotten over and over during the pandemic. And this question is, Doctor, how come my feet feel bigger after this pandemic? Well, the one question that everyone comes in with is there something going on? Because I'm having more calluses, I'm having more foot pain now that the pandemic is happening. So let me go over a couple of key points. Key point number one, during this pandemic, everyone has been at home, okay? Now you might think, there's no problem being at home, but the problem is most people, when they're at home, they're barefoot. So that does two things. One, if you already have calluses and foot pain, it's going to make it worse because you don't have the support of wearing your shoes. That's the first thing. The second thing is your feet get bigger. You might think that's crazy. My feet don't get bigger. They do. If you've been without shoes for a year or two, your feet are going to get bigger. And something else happens. Certain shoes that you used to wear, if they're a leather, they're going to get a little bit smaller because that leather isn't going to be as flexible. And so I have patients coming in every single day and they say, hey, doc, my shoes aren't fitting. And this is especially problematic for you if you're one of the females watching this. You're like, what do I do? What do I do? My shoes aren't fitting. What can I do? So here's a few tips. So one tip is wearing a shoe and getting a shoe kind of stretcher. You can get some shoe stretchers on Amazon. I'll put a couple of links underneath this video for shoe stretchers. You can try some shoe liquid that you can put on the shoe that'll let it stretch out a little bit. You can throw out the shoes and get new shoes, right? You can do foot surgery, which I probably wouldn't recommend. What's the best way to determine the size of your foot? A lot of people come in, they say, I've always been a size 6. I've always been a size 7. This is especially for females. Like I have 30 pairs of shoes in my closet and I've always been this size. Don't tell me my foot's getting bigger. Well, the best thing that I found, and I'm actually going to explain this at the end, and I have a shoe buying guide I'm going to give to you and show you a link for that. Basically in the shoe buying guide, my special secret is called the shoe liner test. Have you heard about that before? I'll explain that in the shoe buying guide. It's like my favorite thing. And I actually do it with every patient when they come into the office. I take off my shoes and I tend to wear a shoe called an Ultra, which is an anatomic shoe or a shoe that's wider in the front. And I show my whole foot should fit within that shoe liner. That's the shoe liner test basically, but I'll explain a little bit more later if you want to learn more. And then I have tons of other recommendations. But basically during COVID, during this pandemic, people's feet got bigger, okay? And that causes a lot of other foot problems. If you have a hammer toe, if you have a bunion, if you have heel pain, if you have calluses, all these conditions can be problematic because of this. I saw a couple of other things. One other thing I saw, people putting on shoes that they haven't worn for a couple of years, that can cause some blisters and cause some rubbing. And then certain people had, some other types of problems. But the big problem is the feet got bigger. And that's normal. Feet do get bigger as we age. And just for you females, did you know that after every child, your foot size goes up about a size? So just be aware of that as well before you buy too many shoes. So I want to thank you guys for watching this. I'm going to put a link underneath here and probably to the side. You can probably see here on the side, I'm going to be putting a link for two things. One is my shoe buying guide, which has everything you need to know for buying shoes and a whole bunch of great links, especially with anatomic shoes. I talk a lot about anatomic shoes. And the second thing that you're going to see here on the side is going to be a little course that I put together called the Foot Treatment Toolkit. It has everything that you could imagine, and there's a lot of cool bonuses in there. So once again, thank you guys so much.